We get a call basically of a man with a weapon.
You're a white male, approximately 30 years old, wearing a black hoodie and a military-style hat.
They give me a description.
Where was he last seen?
Sitting on the curb just prior to the parking garage.
And they think he has a handgun on him.
As Officer Richard Jones of the Pueblo Police Department walks up,
Hey, put your hands up.
he sees the man turn toward him with gun in hand.
Put the weapon down. Don't move.
Jones has his own gun out and ready.
Put the weapon down. Put the weapon down.
He's not looking at anybody, not doing anything, not saying anything. And he's got a 1,000-yard stare.
Put the weapon down, sir.
As Jones continues to yell, the gunman walks toward him, and Jones sees he's wearing a sweatshirt indicating he's a veteran.
Come on, man. One vet to another.
Jones is not only a CIT officer, he trains others in crisis intervention. And this is how it works in the field.
Dude, don't do it to another vet. Don't do it to me.
Jones immediately uses his training to try to find a hook, some way to connect.
Dude, I'm a retired Army guy. Let me help you. Don't make me do this.
The armed veteran in a mental health crisis says he can get no help.
Then let me help you, but not this way. Let me help you.
As Jones pleads with the man, other officers arrive at the scene, weapons drawn. The vet is holding the loaded semi-automatic handgun stiffly at his side, and Corporal Richard Jones is hoping he does not raise it toward the officers.
Please drop it, brother. We've lost too many already. I know you're hurting, man. I was too. But I went about 4 months ago. So let me help you, please.
Despite the pleading, the man keeps asking Jones to shoot him.
Shoot me. I can't do that, man. I can't do that.
Suddenly, as Jones tries to move the conversation to appeal to the man's religious faith, the man puts his hands together on the gun as if he's going to raise it to fire.
You believe in Jesus Christ, brother? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Then shoot me!
No, don't do it. I was in your shoes a few months ago, brother. It took everything in my body. Man, I'm 6'5", 300-pound paratrooper. Took everything in my world to call a VA and to finally get the help. And I got the help. But I want to help you, man, because I'm tired of losing brothers and sisters. But I can't help you if you don't help me. Okay? The Lord sent me here to you today. He didn't send one of these other guys. He sent me as a vet to you to help you because I'm there. I've been there.
After nearly 11 minutes of having his gun leveled at the man, pleading with him, the tense standoff finally ends.
Just drop it. Just drop it. Okay, put your hands on your head for me.
At that moment, Richard Jones knew he had succeeded in saving the life of a veteran just like him, who was in a mental health crisis. The relief was overwhelming. After gathering himself best as he could, he went to the fellow vet and hugged him.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get you some help. We're going to start right now. I'm going to get you over here to Parkview, and we're going to get it taken care of, okay? Love you, bro. Good job, man.
Were you prepared at any point to shoot him?
I was. I was prepared from the minute I left my vehicle and I approached that vehicle and he stood up with that gun. I will tell you that I'm thankful I was there that day, and I'm thankful I've had the experiences that I've had that brought me there that day. Because when I think about some of my younger officers, I don't know if we would have had the same outcome.
Man, that is a powerful video. I've seen it probably 5 or 6 times. I haven't done any research. I haven't read any of the comments. I don't know if he was reserves, guard, active duty. I don't know what branch. But I mean, so there's a lot of things as a veteran, as veterans, as service members, as law enforcement we can identify with. First, it speaks to a lot of the issues. It speaks to mental health. It speaks to the stigma, but it also speaks to the brotherhood. So as I watched the video, I see a veteran there that is essentially contemplating suicide and or death by cop. And it makes me think, as someone who's battled with depression, knows people who have battled with depression, I know there are signs. I don't know if there were signs for this veteran. I don't know if this was the last straw, but I mean, I want to think that his friends, his family, that if they would have seen signs, or even if they had seen signs, again, I don't know anything about the backstory, is they would have went to help either to him or reported it. So it makes me think, it brings up the question, us as just everyday people, living our lives, do we have blinders on? Were all the signs and the signals there, and just people around them didn't see them and didn't react to them? It speaks to the stigma, the mentality of getting mental help and using the VA. That officer said that, he was a 6'5", 300-pound paratrooper, and just recently he went to the VA to seek mental health. It's crazy. But there's still that stigma. He was saying, without saying, that, he's this big tough guy, and he finally had to realize that outside of his pride and his toughness, that he needed help. And then obviously, so at the end of the interaction, the officer separates himself and he has that emotional breakdown. I think he really feels the 20 plus veterans a day. I think he really feels that. I mean, he said it a few times. We don't need to lose any more brothers or sisters. And I also, if you listen to the video, he said just recently he had to go to the VA for help. So maybe he saw, his image reflected in that veteran, and it hit hard with him. I've seen this video several times and I get emotional every time. It definitely hits with me. But out of all that negativity, what really strikes as awesome is the bond that I speak about, that all veterans have spoken about for decades, the bond of brotherhood. The veteran, that officer didn't know each other whatsoever, but he embraced him, said I love you, called him brother several times, and that's just a powerful thing. That bond is a very powerful thing. But again, it's an emotional video, and I think it's worth watching, and watch it and understand it, break it down, and then digest some of it. If it resonates with you, figure out why, and if you're getting help, if you're not, figure out why you're not getting help. The VA is the most important organization, the most important resource for many veterans. If you're not in it, figure it out and get in there. If you've had one bad interaction, not all interactions are the same, just like military.